Hello, it's me here once again with another one of my videos, and today I'm going to be doing something different since I ended the Ken Hensley era in Uriah Heep. Just as much as I did the David Byron one, I am going to give my top 20 songs of Uriah Heep in the Ken Hensley era. Now this was actually, I think, not really hard to really come up with because I just started naming songs just off the top of my head that I just like. So I figured, you know what, why not do a list? But before we get into it, be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe down below. Click the little bell so you don't miss anything. And also, if you're new to the channel, just click the subscribe button and it'll be greatly appreciated. And I really love talking to you guys, and to you guys that have already subscribed, thank you very much. But anyway, let's get into it. Song number 20 comes off the album Return to Fantasy, and that is Devil's Daughter, which is a song I don't know why I like, I just really do. And I've kind of always just really liked it off of Return to Fantasy, which I think is one of those albums that's better. It's a little above average, but it's not in their pantheon of greatest stuff. But I think on even those albums, there is songs that are really good, and I really like Devil's Daughter. On to song number 19, we go to the album Wonderworld and Suicidal Man. Just a great song to listen to. Fantastic musicianship on it. And the words to me, like Byron's vocals, were really good. On to song number 18 is from the Firefly album, and that would be The Hanging Tree. Now, I thought it was a great song to start off the John Lawton era in Uriah Heep. Now, I think in Uriah Heep, especially the John Lawton era, he got saddled with some really material. And I think he also got put into a band where I think Ken Hensley wanted to go a more commercial route, and Mick and the others kind of wanted to stay to their rock and roll roots, which I always felt, and then by the end I felt there was that infighting that just became too much. But The Hanging Tree was a great song. I love the musicianship on it. I love the vocals of John Lawton. That's one thing you'll never hear me diss in Uriah Heep in that era, was the fact John Lawton was a hell of a singer. Song number 17 is Come Back to Me from the Fallen Angel album. I know I don't like the Fallen Angel very much, but this is one of the songs I really like from that album. It's more of a soul song, and there's just something about Uriah Heep and soul songs that just work very well. On to song number 16 on my list. Where are you? 16. Time to Live from the Salisbury album. Great song. I really enjoyed this song, and I really enjoyed the album Salisbury more than I thought I would. Like, I remember I know you can go to the Look at Yourself, Demons and Wizards, Magician's Birthday, Sweet Freedom albums. You can find those a lot. Salisbury, to me, is also a very good album, and I really love this song. It showed off Mick Box on guitar quite a bit. It showed off David Byron as not only a good singer or a good vocalist, he's also a good rock singer. I think it really melded both very well together. On to song number 15, we go to the Demons and Wizards album and the song All My Life. I always love this song off this album. It's one of those hidden gems. It's just the slide guitar and just the upbeat nature of it. And Byron's vocals and some of the lyrics, like stuff like, I wouldn't take one, but I wouldn't take two. I'm gonna make love and it's gonna be you. Just a great stuff from David Byron. On to song number 14 on my list is the title track from Salisbury. Now, I know some might say this is kind of low on the list, but this is just my list. I like Salisbury. I thought it was one of, other than maybe Adam Hart Mother and a couple others, it is probably one of the best songs done with an orchestra that a band's done. Even though it's very straightforward, very basic, and it was more of an experiment, and a bunch of the songs really combined into one, it really showed Uriah Heep musicianship off so well. On to song number 13 on my list is from the album Wonderworld, and probably my favorite song from Wonderworld, The Easy Road. There's just something about David Byron's soul vocal performances that I just always loved. And this song, I don't know why, it's just one of those songs I really enjoy and really like a lot. Just fantastic in its approach. It's so simple, but it works. And then with the piano and then the little what sounds like orchestra stuff in the background, just spot on from Uriah Heep. On to song number 12, The Magician's Birthday Party. In my opinion, one of the standout songs from a fantastic album in The Magician's Birthday, of which I called a 5 out of 5 album. Maybe the weaker of the 5 out of 5 albums, but still pretty good. And I think Magician's Birthday was the Mick Box show-off show so much that I love it. Mick Box, anytime you hear Mick Box on guitar, just fantastic. I love it. It's great. I can never say any really terrible stuff about Mick Box's guitar work. It's always good. Like, at least to me, it sounds good and clean. On to song number 11. Also off the album Demons and Wizards, Circle of Hands. Once again, it's more of a soul song, but it has that really rocky element to it that made Uriah Heep, that heaviness of the organ, setting the mood and the atmosphere. And then you have Byron's vocals of Circle of Hands, cold spirits blend, searching my land for an enemy. And then just the prophetic words of sacrifice, the future has its price, and today is only yesterday's tomorrow. Those words, they just stuck with me all these years. From the first time I heard it, I've loved this song so much. There's some Uriah Heep songs that I've had to listen to a few times, and they've kind of grown on me. From day one, the first time I heard the song Circle of Hands, it really hit me. That's such a great song. On to song number 10. On my list is from The Magician's Birthday, and it's another soul song, and it's Rain. And it's just a great song. It's very simple once again. There's nothing really complicated about it. But I just love how it's so beautifully sad, I guess is the best way to put it. It's raining outside, but that's not unusual. Is the way that I'm feeling's becoming usual. Just great lines from David Byron on that. I just love the way he just sung it. On to song number 9, Gypsy, the first song they ever wrote off the album, Very Heavy, Very Humble. Just love this song. It really showed off what Uriah Heep was all about, the heaviness of the organ, the guitars, the bass, the drums. And then just great vocals from David Byron. I really think David Byron criminally is underrated, in my opinion, quite a bit. And the song Gypsy really proved what Uriah Heep was really about. That heaviness, especially in the early years, that heaviness of that organ, that riff of dan, 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 dan. And just that, it's just something about it. I just love this album so much. I love this song especially so much. It's one of my favorites. On to song number 8 is the title, or not the title track, the first song off the album, The Magician's Birthday, and that is Sunrise. And I always thought Uriah Heep, this should have always, it doesn't matter what the hell show it is, this song should always open the show. Sunrise, there's just something about it. And David Byron's vocals on it, mixed with, I believe, Ken Hensley as well. That's one thing I will say about Ken Hensley, is he is one hell of a singer. And once again, I think a underrated singer, but just fantastic, the pitches he can get. On to song number 7 for me off the album Demons and Wizards, Rainbow Demon. There's just something about the song. It's very the organ driven, and I love the vocals to it. Here rides the rainbow demon on his horse of crimson fire. Black shadows are following closely in the wings of his desire. Then it moves into that organ sections, and then you get the really heaviness of it. Really good stuff. On to song number 6, and from the album Look at Yourself. One of my favorite Uriah Heep songs, one of the first Heep songs I really got into, I Want to Be Free. And there's something that you can just say, I want to be free, that can relate pretty much to anything. But I love how it starts out very hard with the dan, 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 and then it goes very soft, and then into the as I wake up every day with no new songs to play, and just works off that very well. Just a great song. On to song number 5 on my list, Lady in Black, the song that got me into Uriah Heep. One of my favorite songs of all time, one of the greatest ballads ever written. I'll put Lady in Black against just about any ballad ever written, and I think it stacks up very well. Very commercially successful in Germany and all across parts of the world, but really gave them their first hit, and to me is just a beautifully haunting song. And those are like the oxymorons about Heep that you just listen to and it makes sense to Heep fans. It's like so beautifully haunting in that. On to song number 4. And in my opinion, the best song off of High and Mighty was really the high point, and maybe one of the greatest songs Uriah Heep ever written, Weep in Silence. From the first time I heard it with the keyboard, with the organ intro, and just some fantastic guitar work by Mick Box on this. And also David Byron's vocals. I think out of all the songs they recorded, this was the best. On this album, just fantastic. It's just good, like, just the vocal delivery. So, you thought you'd tell no lies, succeeded only in disguise. And just the way they changed it to like how your life became a compromise and all stuff, and then just like women weep in silence, and just ending with that fantastic Mick Box guitar solo. On to song number 3 is from the album Sweet Freedom, and that would happen to be the song, maybe one of my favorite Uriah Heep songs. Well, it's number 3, so Stealin'. There's just something about it. Take me to the river, 'cause I'm in need of some place to hide. I done the rancher's daughter load, and I keep running out of time. Or no, I think I hurt his pride. Just great stuff, Uriah Heep. At this point, this really showed the band was on, not only musically, but also lyrically, and it really worked commercially. I love this song so much. I think I went through about a 2 or 3 week phase where all I did was listen to this song. It's just catchy as hell, and I love it. On to song number 2 on my list, which will shock a lot of people that this song's number 2. But out of all the Byron Soul songs and all the Uriah Heep songs, to me this one's one of my favorite of all time and one of the best. It is from the album Look at Yourself, and it is what some might call the most out of place song on an album, but it works. And that would be What Should Be Done. And I've always loved this. So you think you found a way of living that prevents you losing any sleep. Just great stuff, and great lyrics, great vocal delivery. I like Mick Box with the wah in the background doing solo stuff, just playing underneath it. It's not overpowering, overbearing. It fits really well. And there's a line in there I love, and it's, would you steal a nickel from a blind man? Well, baby, right now, I do believe you would. It's not the thought of you doing it that hurts me. It's the mind behind it that's no good. Just a great song. in general and really love it. It's, to me, one of the greatest Uriah Heep albums and songs of all time. Just fit the album. Now on to song number 1, and I think as a lot of Uriah Heep fans would say, well, there's one song missing that we really love, and for me it is number 1. It is, in my opinion, the greatest song Uriah Heep ever issued to record. That would be July Morning. July Morning, to me, is Uriah Heep at its best, at its proggiest, at its heaviest, and vocally at its souliest. And some might say, what do you mean by that? This had so much David Byron soul on it, if you really listen to it, with the "There I was on a July morning," and just the way he builds it into the la la la, la la la, and then goes off with just some great shrieks in it. The musicianship on the song is spot on. Ken Hensley on keyboards, John Newton on bass, really fantastic. I believe very underrated bass player in Uriah Heep. And this song works so well. Mick Box was just fantastic on it. The playing off of him and Hensley, spot on. But anyway, that's my list of my top 20 Uriah Heep songs, Ken Hensley era. Be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe down below. Put your list down below. I'd really like to read them also. Or do a video response if you feel inclined to that. I know there's some songs on here that some people are like, how the hell can you leave that off there? But this is just my list. Anyway, that's my thoughts and opinions. Once again, be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Peace.